Hey, we're out here, we're talking about pruning today. We're talking about vine structure. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Let's make this happen. So we look down here at this awesome Barbera vine. What are we trying to do? Of course, we're trying to essentially set up our vine for next year. How much have you produced? How much do you want to produce? Scientifically speaking, the ideal ratio, ideal number of buds and therefore shoots per meter of cordon. Yes, we're in the US, but there's a lot of people out there that are not. Meters, learn it. 15 shoots per meter, that's what we're looking at. That's gonna allow us to adjust a little bit more if you wanna crop more, maybe if you have a variety with smaller clusters, a little bit less if you have a variety with larger clusters. In this case, we're growing Barbera. Barbera can tend to have larger clusters. So yes, we wanna shoot for 15, we're okay if we get 12. We'll see how it goes. In this case here, this is what we were dealing with last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, arguably 16. That's a pretty damn good number. Something to keep in mind. The thicker your canopy, and that's everything above ground, the more you will impact your fruit for next year. Every single bud that we're gonna leave, for instance, let's say we take this bad boy off here. We're coming closer to the cordon, we're focusing the energy of the vine. If we wanna leave this here, if we want to leave 2 buds per spur, we have 1 and we have 2, great. Some people might ask, Joel, why don't you cut closer to the bud? Valid question. Couple reasons why. 1, in regions such as Washington, we tend to have high potassium. Potassium helps things flow. You drink maple syrup, you probably like potassium as well. In regions such as ours, we can flow, we can have some sap bleeding 1, 2, 3 days longer than other regions. If you cut too close to the bud that you actually want, that sap flow can bleed onto your actual bud. If it gets too bad, you can lose that bud, you therefore lose the shoot, and you lose the fruit for that year. So in regions like this, just cut a little higher up, it's safe. And as you go through, and you cut some other stuff, keep in mind, 1, 15 buds per meter of cordon. 2, bring things closer to the cordon. 3, if things are going from above, below, or from the side, get rid of it. It takes the vine more energy to reignite that, if you will, right? Things that are more vertical are better. Things that are more in line are better. You want the vine to be supported by the system here. You want this system to support what will be your fruit zone later. Think of your vine in 4 dimensions. What will this vine look like 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now? That's what you're trying to achieve. So let's take a look at this vine after we're done. All right, so here we go. We have this cordon after we've been done with it. So if you look at what we left, in this case, we left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's a pretty damn good number. We have a good amount of space in between each spur. This space is gonna disappear within a matter of months. You always think, again, you wanna think about this in the 4th dimension, time. What is this going to look like over the course of your season? We left these internode areas a little bit longer. Certainly you can go shorter if you want, but in our region, given our soil, we are adjusting our pruning practices. This will absolutely affect your wine this year. How much you can produce, how much light interception. It is also affecting what will happen next year. The thicker your canopy, the less light interception you have. The less light interception you have, the lower the average temperatures of the cellular structures that are developing. And the cellular structures that are going to develop this year will be your buds for next year. So if you overcrop one year, you will naturally have a lower crop next year. Our goal as wine growers is to try to develop a sense of evenness throughout each year. So although I am directly affecting the crop this year, I am also setting up the crop for next year. Remember that. Bam. So we're here in our Cabernet block. We're dealing with VSV, vertical shoot positioning. And these rows have been pre-pruned, mechanically pre-pruned. You can see here the cuts they're pretty rough. That's okay, we expect that. The idea of pre-pruning is you come through with a machine and you're removing anywhere from 70 to 30% of the wood that's out there, all the old shoots, all the old canes, I should say. And this, if you do it well, can save your workers hours of time. And of course, every hour that you're saving is money in your pocket. Mm-hmm. This is all about business, ladies and gentlemen. So we do this to save time, to save effort. If we come down this way, you still have to have somebody come through. So in this case, we're looking at stuff, we're trying to come closer to the cordon. See what I just did? That's a super easy cut. Super easy cut. Oh my gosh, amazing.
No.
Well, that wasn't as easy, but of course I need to work out more. But you can see how easy your pruning can become once a lot of stuff is out of the way. How much does this cost? Well, in this region, a lot of people will pay as little as $70 per acre to pre-prune. Now, I think that's a little bit too low because this whole industry needs to be self-sustaining economically. So I pay about $100 an acre. But that $100 an acre saves our workers and our students 3 to 4 hours for each one of their blocks that they're actually pruning. So it's worth it for the person that comes out, your contractor, it's worth it for your workers, and of course it's a heck of a lot easier to maintain your vine. You maintain your vine better, you extend the longevity of your system, you're able to harvest easier, you're able to make sure pesticides and herbicides and fungicides get on easier, everything's good. So set up your vine correctly, manage it correctly, and establish a nice economically sustainable business.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Don't look at this. I'm just practicing my techniques.
I wish I had credits to roll over this.